Hi, I'm Sophie from Foodie Boulevard, and today I'm going to show you how you can become a real-life superhero by using food as a superpower on and off the dining table. A superhero is somebody who does good deeds by using special skills that normal people don't have. And one special skill that normal people don't really have, but can acquire easily at that, is using food outside the box. We've been conditioned to believe that food is this trivial thing, it's calories, nutrients, and fat diets, and everything in the context of eating. But we never get to think of food as something more than that. But in reality, food is like a Swiss Army knife. You can carry it in your pocket for years and only use it for one thing. But then if you kind of get curious about it and start playing around with it, you gradually realize that there are so many unexpected things that you can use it for. And one such thing is to use it as a playground. See, one of the things about playing with food is that we are conditioned to believe that this is not supposed to happen. We are taught that playing with food is disrespectful, and it makes sense. There are people in the world who still die of starvation, and playing with food is no joke. So it makes sense to teach children to not play with food because there are other people who can't get access to that. But the premise here is that playing with food is wasteful, and that when you play with it, you throw it away. This is not what we do. At Foodie Boulevard, we play with food. We use the context of food as a playground to sharpen creativity, to develop respect for food itself, and to cultivate sustainable healthy eating habits that are natural and easy to integrate in our lives in the long run. And the way we go about this it's pretty out there. It's pretty different because we don't tell you must absolutely love cooking, you must be super religious about organic food, and you must never ever eat junk. We don't do any of this stuff because it doesn't work. The global obesity rates have tripled in the last decades. And at the same time, the global wellness industry is growing, and at this moment is over $4 trillion. And clearly something is just not adding up. We tend to dismiss play as a frivolous waste of time. But what if there was a way to leverage the power of play as a stimulating learning mechanism that sharpens creativity and helps cultivate sustainable healthy eating habits? Well, this is exactly what the Creativity Workout for Foodies is designed to do. The Creativity Workout for Foodies is something else. It's a next generation immersive digital experience which is designed to free your mind, feed your eyes, and fuel your body with delicious and nutritious food. But it's not, the cooking and the food are not the focus of the experience. They are just the strategy. The focus is to discover food outside the box. It's to sharpen creativity, to expand your horizons, and to learn to perceive food as a multidimensional tool that can enrich your life in more ways than you can imagine. The creativity workout for foodies uses food as a playground and turns cooking into playtime. It teaches participants to use edible ingredients as art supplies and creativity prompts. The format combines open-ended brain games and creative activities that result in a delicious masterpiece. The format is at the intersection of creativity and eating psychology. It uses one single approach to accomplish 3 different tasks. First, it makes creativity attainable. Second, it makes health promotion fun. And third, it turns cooking from a boring household chore into an open-ended play that results in a delicious masterpiece. It's something that came about in a time when traditional sources of entertainment and traditional learning environments were essentially non-existent. The idea was born in the midst of the COVID-19 quarantine when I'd spent about 6 weeks at home. I hadn't seen any of my friends. I hadn't been doing my work, which basically consists of communicating with people live and teaching kids and adults to explore food beyond eating and use it as a playground for cultivating creativity and developing healthy eating habits. But none of that was possible in the traditional sense, in the traditional format that I'd done it for years before that. None of that was possible in the midst of the quarantine. So I was essentially broken, because here was I trying to make a living. I'd quit my soul-sucking corporate job a few years ago. I had taken the leap of faith and jumped into social entrepreneurship with an idea that I believed was valuable beyond what people, the majority of people, were aware of. And I was living in a place where it was a struggle to communicate the value of what I was doing as it was. And then on top of that, a quarantine and the pandemic just completely shuffled everything around and transformed this reality as we knew it into a new kind of normal that none of us knew what to do with and how to exist in. And I was lonely, I was sad, I was scared. My mind was rushing a million miles an hour, coming up with the worst possible scenarios of like how my parents would catch the coronavirus and would die, and how my brother is studying in another country and he would also catch it and would be alone and die, and how my partner would catch it and would infect me and we would both die. And like all of those completely self-destructive thought patterns had taken over my mind that I knew I had to do something. And I knew in the past I'd used traumatic experiences as triggers to open up my mind in ways that it had never been open before, and then use the space to come up with something that just changes the game. And this is what the creativity workout for foodies is all about. It's a unique experience that students from all around the world can have in the comfort of their own home, and they can together share this emotion by being safe, and yet by engaging in a collective experience that brings them together. The idea for the format of the creativity workout for foodies came about in a conversation that I had with a lady online, where I was showing her pictures and videos from a workshop that I led for 15 children from 7 countries in the most prestigious school in Bulgaria right before the quarantine hit. And I was showing her the pictures of that, and she was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing. I love how you're teaching children to play with food, but in a respectful way, so that they learn to, explore it outside the box and to basically use it as a superpower. It's so amazing that you're doing that." And I have a granddaughter who has Asperger's and an eating disorder. And if you were living nearby, I would 100% sign her up for those classes once the quarantine was lifted. And when she said that, everything made sense, because I never set out to work with food with the agenda to create this. I came to food from a painful place, because I personally have struggled with an eating disorder since I was a teenager, and to me, food was never trivial. It was always a context that had so many nuances surrounding it, and it took me such a long time to learn how to use food as a growth strategy, that when I realized that what I've done in an attempt to heal myself, when I realized that this same thing can help other people around the globe, everything just came together. And I realized that this quarantine, it's been such a painful, such a challenging experience for every single person around the world. But I realized that this very thing can actually be the catalyst that I've needed to help me take my work to the next level and create a format, a framework, an approach, a method, something that teaches people around the world, young and adult and elderly, that food can be a superpower outside the box, off the dining table, and that I can leverage the power of the internet to facilitate an immersive digital experience that allows people from around the world. Oh my God, there's mosquitoes and whatnot around me. I'm getting really excited. But I can leverage the power of the internet to create an immersive digital experience that allows people from around the world to enter the same digital playground and have a shared experience from the comfort of their own homes, and dive into this amazing, exciting adventure of exploring food as a playground and learning to use it not just as fuel, as nutrients and calories, not just as a health promotion strategy, but also as a creativity catalyst, as a teacher, and as a way to self-express in a language that allows them to communicate things that words often can't communicate. And this is how the creativity workout for foodies was born. And I am so excited to bring this to you, and I can't wait to get our hands dirty, to engage with food in a playful and creative way, and to learn how to use it as a lifelong partner on and off the dining table. What we'll be doing is create some edible art that we would then transform into a delicious and nutritious meal so that nothing is wasted. It's gonna be different, it's gonna be unique, it's gonna be challenging, stimulating, enriching, inspiring. It's gonna ask you to choose courage over comfort. It's gonna push you to go for curiosity and uncertainty. And it's gonna show you that you can sharpen your creativity and use that as an operating system for life, and basically transfer this skill that you develop in this context to every single area of your life that has nothing to do with food or eating or cooking or any of this stuff. Let's get our hands dirty.